Let me tell you something I learned early in life. Something that changed everything for me. You cannot hire someone else to do your push-ups. Sounds simple, right? But behind that line is the whole foundation of responsibility. It means no one can live your life for you. Not your parents, not your boss, not your government, not even your best friend. You are responsible. That's where everything begins. Most people spend their lives waiting for someone to fix it, waiting for someone to save them, waiting for the economy, the weather, the world, their circumstances to change. And guess what? Most people die waiting. But not you, not anymore. Because now you understand something powerful. Responsibility is not a burden. It's your greatest freedom. The first major shift. From blame to ownership, here's the truth most people don't want to hear. As long as you blame, you remain. You remain stuck, you remain small, you remain helpless. I remember when I was broke at 25, working odd jobs and living off pennies. And I had a long list of people to blame. The government, my boss, my past, the weather, my luck. One day my mentor said to me, "Jim, if you keep blaming everything around you, you'll never have time to change what's within you." That hit me hard. He was right. I was wasting all my energy finding excuses instead of finding direction. So I flipped the script. I asked myself, what if I'm the problem? Uncomfortable. Absolutely. But also liberating. Because if I'm the problem, then I'm the solution too. The greatest power. Taking full responsibility doesn't mean everything that happens to you is your fault. But it does mean everything that happens from now on is your responsibility to manage. Bad childhood. It's your job to heal. Toxic environment. It's your job to move. No opportunities. It's your job to create some. Responsibility means this. I don't control everything that happens, but I always control what I do next. And that, my friend, is powerful. Because it puts you in the driver's seat. People who win think differently. Have you ever noticed something? Winners, achievers, successful people, they all have one thing in common. They accept responsibility early and often. They don't wait to be told. They don't wait for permission. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They move. They decide. They lead. And when they make mistakes, they own it. They don't hide. They don't point fingers. Why? Because they understand responsibility builds reputation. Responsibility builds influence. Responsibility builds freedom. Excuses are easy. Ownership is hard, but worth it. Let me give it to you straight. Excuses are seductive. They make you feel better temporarily, while making your life worse permanently. Excuses sound like, I don't have time. I didn't get lucky. It's not fair. I wasn't born into money. No one supports me. But here's the reality. Excuses don't pay bills. Excuses don't build futures. Excuses don't create legacy. Discipline does. Ownership does. Courage does. And if you want a different life, you need to stop defending the one that's not working. The turning point in every successful life, there's always a turning point. A moment when the successful person says, no more excuses. From now on, if it's to be, it's up to me. That's it. That's the whole success equation starting to take root. If I want to be healthier, I take ownership of my diet and movement. If I want to be wealthier, I take ownership of my skills, time, and energy. If I want better relationships, I take ownership of my words and actions. You start to become a person of agency, someone who makes things happen. And that is rare in today's world of complaint, blame, and entitlement. Don't wait for motivation. Start with responsibility. People ask me all the time, Jim, how do I stay motivated? And I say, stop chasing motivation. Start building responsibility. Because when you take ownership of your life, motivation becomes natural. You wake up knowing you've got work to do. You stop looking for external hype and start focusing on internal discipline. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. Build discipline now or carry regret later. Your life is the result of the standards you accept. One of the most powerful lessons I learned. Your life is a reflection of the standards you tolerate. Tolerate laziness, you'll live with it. Tolerate excuses, they'll control your outcomes. Tolerate low effort, you'll get low results. But the moment you raise your standards, the moment you say, I'm done tolerating average, you take responsibility for who you're becoming. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Your inner voice must change. Most people's inner voice is a critic or a victim's. Why does this always happen to me? I can't do this. It's too hard. But once you take ownership, your inner voice becomes a leader. I'm in control. I can figure this out. I will rise. Responsibility transforms your identity. You stop being a reactor. You become a creator. Final thought. Responsibility is freedom in disguise. Most people think responsibility is pressure, a burden, a chore. But here's the truth: responsibility is freedom in disguise. When you take ownership of your health, you gain freedom over your energy. When you take ownership of your money, you gain freedom over your time. When you take ownership of your thoughts, you gain freedom over your emotions. So ask yourself, where am I giving away my power by avoiding responsibility? And then take it back, quietly, consistently, completely. That's where success starts. Not in luck, not in help, not in magic, but in you choosing to take full ownership of your life. Because the equation starts here. Responsibility has discipline to freedom. Let me tell you something simple but powerful. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Without it, dreams stay dreams. With it, dreams become reality. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is the price you pay to have what you want. Let's talk about this engine, this daily system that will change everything for you. What discipline really is. People think discipline means being strict, cold, or robotic. That's not discipline. That's misery. Discipline is simply doing what you said you'd do, long after the feeling in which you said it has passed. It's honoring your word to yourself. It's becoming the kind of person you can rely on, not just for one day, but for every day. Jim Rohn said it best: discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. Lack of discipline inevitably leads to failure. Why most people never develop discipline. Here's why most people struggle with discipline. They rely on emotion, not decision. They expect it to be easy. They make it too big. They don't track progress. Discipline is a habit, not a heroic act. The power of one small discipline. Say you decide, every morning, I'll read 10 pages of a good book. 10 pages a day, 1 book a month, 10, 12 books a year, 60 books in 5 years. That could change your entire life. But most people say, it's just 10 pages. That won't matter. They don't see that small disciplines compound. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. Jim Rohn, discipline in 5 key areas of life. Mind: feed your mind with truth, not junk. Body: move daily, rest well, eat wisely. Time: plan it, don't waste it. Money: spend less than you earn. Invest in yourself. Words: speak with intent. Build, don't break. How to build discipline? Even if you failed before, start small, pick one habit. Anchor it, tie it to something you already do. Track it, keep visual progress. Reward progress, not perfection. If you miss one day, bounce back. Discipline vs. motivation. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. You don't brush your teeth with motivation. It's just a habit. Do the same with your success habits. I'm the kind of person who follows through. That's stronger than hype. How discipline frees you. Discipline to freedom. Financially, emotionally, physically, mentally, creatively. If you don't control your habits, your impulses will control you. Success becomes predictable. Daily discipline. Time: predictable success. No mystery. No luck. Just small, smart, steady action. Train yourself to do hard things. Take the stairs. Say no to shortcuts. Wake up when you said you would. Silence distractions. Every small act of discipline strengthens your identity. Final thought: you can't have success without discipline. You can't have freedom without self-control. Discipline is quiet. It doesn't beg. It builds quietly, steadily, day by day. You've now got the engine. You've accepted responsibility. You've built the engine of discipline. Now we arrive at the reward: freedom. But not the kind of freedom most people think of. Not laziness, not avoidance, not escape. We're talking about earned freedom. Inner freedom, total freedom. The kind of freedom that makes you strong, not soft. That makes you wise, not wild. That makes you a creator, not a victim. Let's dive into the final part of the equation, and the reason we do any of it at all. What is real freedom? Ask 100 people what freedom means, and most will say, doing whatever I want. No rules. No one telling me what to do. But that kind of freedom leads to chaos. You eat whatever you want. You get sick. You spend however you want. You get broke. You say whatever you want. You destroy relationships. You sleep whenever you want. You lose your edge. True freedom doesn't come from lack of structure. It comes from mastering your structure. Freedom is not the absence of discipline. Freedom is the result of discipline. Jim Rohn. There are 2 types of freedom: freedom from freedom. To freedom from debt, addiction, anxiety, toxic people, regret. Freedom to travel when you want rest, when you need work with purpose. Help your family, build a legacy. One is survival. The other is success. And to move from, freedom from, to freedom to, you must pay the price. That price is responsibility plus discipline. The road most people take. Most people want the reward without the work. They say things like, I want passive income. I want peace of mind. I want to be my own boss. But they also want to sleep in, to avoid reading, to keep scrolling, to say, I'll start tomorrow. Here's the truth. You can't have both comfort and freedom. One must be sacrificed for the other. Those who sacrifice comfort early get freedom later. Those who chase comfort early become prisoners of their own choices. The freedom you build is internal. Most people chase external success. Cars, houses, status, likes, recognition. But the most powerful freedom, peace of mind. The freedom to walk away from arguments. The freedom to say no to nonsense. The freedom to stay calm when others panic. The freedom to focus when others complain. This kind of freedom can't be bought. It can only be earned by building character day by day. Financial freedom earned, not promised. Let's talk about something real. Financial freedom. It doesn't mean being a millionaire. It means being in control of your money, not a slave to it. You gain it by spending wisely, saving consistently, investing, patiently, learning endlessly, and above all, by not letting impulse run your life. Jim Rohn once said, poor people spend their money and invest what's left. Rich people invest their money and spend what's left. Or freedom comes when your money works harder than you do. Time freedoms. Owning your day. How many people do you know who are constantly busy, but going nowhere? They don't own their time. Their time owns them. Time freedom isn't about having nothing to do. It's about choosing what matters most and focusing only on that. It means saying no without guilt, creating systems that work for you, mastering the hours, not watching the clock. When you master your time, you control your life. Freedom of thought. This might be the most important of all. Most people are prisoners of their thoughts, worry, fear, comparison, doubt, envy. But when you build discipline in the mind, you can choose what you think. You don't let negativity live rent-free. You don't get pulled by every distraction. You don't collapse under criticism. You remain centered, calm, wise. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Jim Rohn, that's how you protect your freedom. The formula that brought you here. Let's pause and look back. You accepted that. No one is coming to save you. Responsibility. No one will do your push-ups for you. Discipline. No one can give you freedom but you. Freedom. That's the success equation. Most people stay stuck because they try to shortcut this formula. They want freedom to magic. They want freedom of motivation. But it doesn't work like that. Freedom to the responsibility, so discipline every single time. How you know you're truly free? Here's a test. You're free when you can say no without fear. You can work without being forced. You can walk away from bad deals, bad people, bad habits. You wake up with purpose, not pressure. You live by design, not by default. Freedom isn't loud. It's quiet. It shows up in peace, not applause. What freedom feels like? You're not racing anyone. You're not proving anything. You're not apologizing for your standards. You're not afraid of silence. You're not dependent on luck. Instead, you create. You choose. You lead. You rest and earn it. You serve others because your own cup is full. That's the kind of life few ever taste. But it's available to those who choose the path you've chosen. Final thought, live free. But earn it. Don't just want freedom. Don't just talk about it. Earn it. Every morning you get up early, you earn it. Every time you say no to comfort, you earn it. Every moment you lead yourself, you earn it. Freedom is not given. It's not inherited. It's not gifted. Freedom is earned through responsibility and discipline. And now you've earned yours. You're no longer reacting to life. You're creating it. You're no longer a product of your environment. You're the designer of it. You're not living by chance. You're living by choice. That is real freedom. You've taken responsibility. You've mastered discipline. You've tasted freedom. Now it's time for something higher. Something bigger than goals, money, and achievements. It's time to talk about legacy, the final level in the success equation, because real success doesn't stop with you. It begins with you, but it lives beyond you. What is legacy? Legacy is not what you leave for people. Legacy is what you leave in people. It's not your house, your money, or your trophies. It's your example, your character, your contribution. Success is what you achieve. Significance is what you give. Jim Rohn legacy is planting trees under whose shade you may never sit. It's choosing to live in a way that outlives you. Success ends. Legacy continues. Success is temporary. A title, a bonus, a viral video, a big house. Legacy is eternal, a changed life, a child inspired, a habit passed down, a seed of truth that grows for generations. The applause fades. The trends vanish. But character, influence, a legacy, those echo forever. The 3 levels of a life. Most people only reach the first level. 1. Survival, just get through the day. Reactive, drained, stuck. 2. Success, build something better, productive, independent, free. 3. Significance, make others better, purposeful, impactful, fulfilled. You are now standing at the threshold of level 3. It's time to rise. Why legacy matters? Because one day your time will run out. Not to sound dramatic, but to sound real. The clock is ticking, and you must ask yourself, what will I leave behind? Who will carry my lessons? What impact will I have had? Money is good. Freedom is great. But legacy, that's immortality. How to build a legacy, not with a grand speech, not with millions in the bank, but with daily decisions. Here are 5 legacy building habits. 1. Live by values, not trends. Trends change every week. Principles last forever. When you live with integrity, people remember, not for how cool you were, but for how true you were. Legacy is built by keeping your word, standing for truth, living what you teach. Jim Rohn said, "The challenge of leadership is to be strong, but not rude, kind, but not weak, bold, but not a bully." 2. Mentor and multiply. Your greatest impact may not be what you do, but who you inspire. Mentor someone, pour into them, model excellence. Even one life change can ripple through generations. The best leaders don't just create followers, they create leaders. 3. Serve where you are. You don't need a stage. You don't need a mic. You need a heart to help. Legacy begins in how you treat your family, how you show up to work, how you speak to strangers, how you lead when no one is watching. Service turns success into significance. 4. Document your wisdom. Write, record, share. Don't die with your lessons buried in your mind. Leave something, a journal, a letter, a story, a principle. Your great-grandchild may read your words one day and live differently because of it. That's legacy. 5. Live the life you preach. Don't just say what matters. Live it. People forget lectures. They remember lives. The way you love, lead, and persevere, that's your message. The shift from me to wit early in your journey. It's all about you, your goals, your habits, your income, but as you grow, it becomes about others. Their growth, their success, their breakthrough. Legacy is not self-centered. It's service-centered. Don't wait till you're gone. People say, he left a legacy. But you don't leave a legacy when you die. You live a legacy when you're alive. Every day you choose honesty, lift others, teach values, build with care. You're creating legacy now. Legacy is the final freedom. Think about it. Responsibility gave you direction. Discipline gave you structure. Freedom gave you peace. Legacy gives you meaning. That's the highest form of wealth, a life lived on purpose, for a purpose bigger than self. Final thought. Let it outlive you. You were never meant to live, earn, retire, and vanish. You were born to shape, serve, speak, and plant something permanent. And now you can. Because you've walked the path. Responsibility, discipline, freedom, significance. Let others leave their riches. You leave your example. Jim Rohn. Live wisely, love deeply, serve boldly, and build your legacy starting now.